Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Pleasure again to come here and talk with you. This is Friday afternoon. I think it's the 3rd. Fridays are generally my day off, so I got to come in here. We're having some tile work done out there, and so gave me an opportunity to sit here and finish up with you a stack of your questions. So it's always a pleasure for me to talk to you, and I've talked with some of you over the phone consults, and you guys are just a delight. It really saves me a lot of work to talk to you guys that are really getting it. I tell you, it just saves me a lot of work. So it's just a lot of fun and a joy to talk to you guys. Just great souls, all you guys are. So I'm just going to take off and go through these because I have a whole bunch to go through. There was a request by an individual not to add too much of the spiritual in with the health, and so, you know, that's always been the case, even though you can't separate the two, but I appreciate where you're coming from with that, and so I will. I'll try to keep those distinctly separate as best I can. I never like separating one from the other because they're not. At the same time, a lot of people are going to view this video that probably is antagonistic to certain belief systems. I like to think I don't have any belief systems, that I am, and that's it, and I observe what is, and that's it. And I think belief systems have got the best of man, and that's why there's wars. And I can take some of you in here very strong in your belief systems, and you just have to realize if you're strong in your belief system, I'm okay with that. But I want you to be okay with what I'm saying. Focus on the health of this for yourselves. If that's the spiritual side is problematic for you, just focus on the health side, and that's okay with me. Opening the door of vitality is vital for everyone, and let the cards fall where they may then. So, and I still appreciate those that tune in here, all levels. Now, someone sent me their blood work. Who was this? Taurus 604. It didn't send me much of a blood work. You didn't give me a complete chemical analysis here. All you sent me was your immune panel and your analysis. All of that is good. Your white blood cells, red blood cells, everything is good. That way you get good platelets. I mean, this is a good blood workup. Remember, though, we're looking at blood. We're not looking at the lymph system. Here, though, when we get to the urinalysis, the appearance of your urine is clear. Well, that immediately tells you right now, honey, you're not moving your lymph system. pH is 6. Well, that's good in the sense that you are getting some acid urine out of there, so that is good. But you're not robustly filtering your lymph system like you should, and that's real important that you do that. You have different things. You got a little glucose, ketones, things like that in the blood, but they're on the low side. But work on those kidneys and work on those adrenal glands and work on your lymph system there. If I sound a little bushed, it's because I am. I've been working pretty hard this morning in the gardens. I love my gardens. I've been talking to my plants all morning. I haven't had an opportunity to be with them for a week or so, so they were getting a little lonely. So I'm kind of, in the spur. Do you recommend water fasting if you are really thin? You know that this is the catch-22, and I'm going to try to make a note because this is going to be a long question and answer video, I can tell you right now. So I want to address these and have the heading for you so you can. I do apologize that in the beginning we really didn't do that. Now maybe we'll go back and put a bigger heading on those. Going back is something that's been real difficult for me to do. the publisher wants me to go back and update some of the material in the book or change it. It's like, oh, going back for me is like yesterday's gone, I'm here now, and let's keep motivating down. So, but yes, I mean, you get into catch-22, and I want you guys to remember that because I've talked to some of you and you're concerned about thinness. Thinness is something to be concerned about, period, because it is an indication of, we've talked about, of malabsorption or pancreatic weaknesses. Now, that's a serious problem. And so, when you go to remedy this, you could get thinner. And I give the analogy of a young man who had lymphoma, and he was in an experimental chemotherapy group of 432 people. When I met him, he looked like a scarecrow. His wife ran a local health food store. And so I put him, on the raw, and, he lost a little more, and his oncologist kept yelling at him. Now, keep in mind, to an oncologist, this guy was dead. So, forgive a little noise you might hear here because we're having some tile work done, so I apologize. But to make a long story short, I told him to put weights in his shoes. All his oncologist worried about was the stats he was looking at. So sure enough, he puts weights in his shoes, and his oncologist quit yelling at him. To make a real long story short, he's alive and well today, and 431 people in that group are now dead. So I only can tell you that you've got to go in there and you've got to move that lymph, and you've got to get your cells back online again. You've got to clean that body out lymphatically and regenerate it. And no matter what it takes, whatever you ride through, whatever that bronco takes you, you got to do it. Because the light at the end of the tunnel gets brighter and brighter the closer you get. Don't get freaked out. Relax. Know what you're doing. Know that you're moving that body, you're cleaning that body out, because the reason you're thin, you've got to fix that. Remember I told you, as a fruitarian and a monofruitarian, I couldn't break 156. Yet I have some men at 130, 120. Real thin to begin with. So they're already hurting. We're just going in and fixing that cause of the thinness. So you cannot detoxify trying to put on weight. It just won't work, because you got two choices. Putting on muscle, if you're malabsorbed, you can forget about putting on the right kind of muscle, and the only other way you can put on weight is fat. And you don't want to put on fat. That's not what we consider a healthy person. So try to grin and bear it. Just try and work through it. And if you get too much, you can slow up a little bit, add some things to your diet, some coconuts and stuff, and keep yourself up a little bit, and then hit it again. Depends how seriously you're involved here. We've got some serious cases here, and you just got to work through it, whatever it takes you to do it, And that's the problem, is that medical doctors are generally unconscious of what one goes through in a detoxification to get to Wellville. And that's kind of a sad thing, because we've got to learn the symptoms, or I'll say most of the healers need to learn the symptoms of detox and where you're going with it. And we have a sad lack of that. And you guys, of course, are going to be the healers of the future and the healers now. A lot of you, I'm getting great stories. Look at Centron. Centron, you're honking on, my friend. And don't worry, some people are going to listen and some are not. Okay, it's all good experience for you, no matter what. It really is. The negative experiences are good as the good experience, because they all are experiences. From one view, there is no positive and negative. From creation, of course, in this level, you've got good and bad, or positive and negative. But really, from the higher consciousness, it's all one, so there is not either one. One leads simply to the other. So my worst experiences have definitely educated me. I can't say I'd like to go through some of them again, but, it's just the way that is. Dano, I don't know that Drew. Oh, yeah, Drew's a good guy, man. Good, thanks for the comment. This is a nurse working at working at night. She's 20 years a nurse. Whoo-wee, man. I don't know, sweetheart. I did a lot of night shifts, and I did a lot of 24-hour shifts, a ton of 36-hour shifts, and some 40-hour shifts. I worked at 3 different hospitals, and I needed the money, you know, and I was supporting things, and so I ran myself down. I hate night work. Sorry, I just can't. When the light's on, I'm up. Oh, let's go. And I was there for about 3-4 years, and I was just got totally unwound. So I don't know what to tell you other than to eat you raw, keep yourself raw, keep yourself up, because I really don't know. I don't have any good answers for you. I know a lot of nurses, and so I got some night shift nurses coming here all the time, and you know they're older, they've settled in with it. That's their rhythm, and they like it. Me, get off a night shift 20 years, you need to be off of it and get your life back, as far as I'm concerned. You know, no offense there. Let's see. Other than that, you know, 20 years a nurse, you should have a lot of seniority there, and you know, have a life for yourself, you know, and you're learning this, and you're great. You're just really great, and I love you nurses that are opening up to this. Hopefully, the future, you know, if we open up these health retreats or resorts that we're working on, I'll need a lot of you nurses and stuff. Now, this one is, oh yeah, these came in this morning though, and I know I've got a lot of older ones to get to. It's talking about Venus Williams. Yeah, whoever wrote this, what is this, Najab or whatever? Yeah, right on. You're right on. Says lymphatic, sure is lymphatic. You're right on. You guys are getting good. I'm telling you, I'm humbled. You guys are really getting good. This is Christopher, one of them that wrote this as well. I think, oh no, this is another one down here. But yeah, you know, somebody get to her and turn her on to health. I mean, true health. She's suffering from exactly that. It's lymphatics. And doesn't matter if there's viral loads involved or whatever. It really doesn't matter. All her symptoms are lymphatic symptoms here. There's always a name for all this stuff, isn't there? Right here, she had vaginal dryness. That's low adrenal glands. That's a low estrogen, not in the ovaries, in the adrenal glands. Skin rashes, of course, that's the third kidney. Extreme fatigue, real low adrenals, tied to vaginal dryness. A tingling in the hands and feet could be lower back, breaking down her lower back there. That'd be the kidney weakness, and of course L4 and L5 is going to go on her, or on anyone that has kidney weakness, and that could create the tingling in the feet and the legs below. Liver function, well, you know what, tooth decay, heartburn, dry nose, swollen salivary glands, stiffness, swelling. Yeah, she's a mess. So she just got to detoxify. You guys hit it right on the head. Yep. Christopher, I'm going to address this spiritual question at another time, because I'd love to incorporate it both, and I'll do that. But some of the Christians are having a hard time here. Monica, yes, I've talked with you, and your mom passed away from pancreatic cancer. No one should pass away from pancreatic cancer. That's not a difficult cancer for someone to cure. It's just too bad, you know. This is a long thing here. So let me address this at another time, honey, because this just came in, and I apologize, but some people have been waiting, and I've just got a ton of these to get to. So let me go here and see. This question was, what should... this question was, what should what should a person's blood pressure readings be, and should it be different with different ages and sexes? Well, you know what? Personally, I think if I look at a healthy body, no matter what age, really, I'm looking at 120 over 60. Of course, as you get older, you're going to get more kidney failure, but then we rebuild those and then they go back to normal blood pressures. So a normal healthy blood pressure, spot on, is textbook, is 120 over 60. Both arms. Anything below 120 is low blood pressure, that's your adrenal glands, and anything above, say 75, 80, you're starting to the kidneys are starting to back up themselves. And you can have kidney filtration problems and still maintain a 60 to 75 diastolic and still lose your kidney's ability to filter. It's only when the kidneys themselves start breaking down that, or start losing, get highly inflamed or acidic themselves, or the lymph system within the kidneys themselves start having serious problems. That's when you see your creatinine start going up to 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, and you also see your blood pressure start climbing. The diastolic influences the systolic a lot, so I never pay much attention to the systolic. That's the cardiac punch, but I really look at the diastolic, and that's your kidneys. And so 120 over 60. When you start getting below 100, most women have had hysterectomies, are certainly heading that way. That's the adrenals. By the time you're at 100 or below, your steroids are involved too. When we're looking at the systolic blood pressure, we're looking at your neurotransmitters, which is the medulla of the adrenals. So that's the inner core of the adrenals. The medulla is the inner core of your organs and things, or glands, and they generally produce different substances than the cortex, which is the outer portion. The cortex is steroids, cortical type steroids. At least not most of them anyway. Yeah, this is the one. Mark, yeah, I'll do my best to do that for you. I keep the spiritual out of it, because I do want the people to be able to look at this and look at these videos and go with them with the health side of this. The question was here from Eagle 99001 about leukemia. Leukemia is probably one of your easiest cancers to get rid of. And I'm going to say it not as a disease, so medical doctors won't have a fit. Whenever you have cells breaking down in the blood, can we call leukemia that? You want to look at your bone marrow, and of course that's going to be a problem with the lymph system again. Most leukemias are actually caused by the lymph system indirectly, and we're looking at spleen. We want to rebuild the spleen. When you start seeing platelets, red blood cells drop, even your white blood cells, you're going to be looking at spleen or the bone marrow. There are Chinese formulas for the bone marrow. My Ultimate Immune is for the bone marrow. I do have a spleen formula. If you can find a spleen formula out there, use it, for those that think I'm pushing my formulas. I would also clean the liver up. I have a blood formula, and someone out there might have a blood formula. I made that blood formula for leukemias, for energizing and cleaning up the blood, but you want to go to the liver. But now wait a minute. What would be wrong with the liver, the spleen, and the bone marrow if they're starting to have problems? What could possibly cause this? Well, you're going back to your lymphatic system again. You're going back to the lymph system, which you're going back to the kidneys and adrenals. There you find your iron or your hemoglobin. Here you find a lot of things in the adrenals. Now, there are leukemias from chemicals. I remember 3 firemen in town got into a chemical fire, and all 3 got leukemia. And one had died. One was a real good friend of mine. I'd known him from the hospital because they come in the ER all the time. And then the other one, I didn't know much of him, but I knew he was pretty bad. Well, the one that was my friend was real bad. He was in a wheelchair and real bad. So I got a hold of him and I said, "Get your butt in here." So I got him up. I've got him walking. He got his energy coming back. His blood work was looking great. His oncologist was so mad that he put so much fear in his wife that his wife made him stop coming to see me, and the last thing we heard was that he passed away. I hope his wife is happy. You know, I hope his wife's happy, because that's the kind of thing that's bad. So what do you think about that in the you reap what you sow, Christians? I wonder what Jesus would think about that. You know, how does Spirit balance things out? But anyway, that's a sad case. But leukemia, real easy. And I showed you this little girl the other day with leukemia, childhood leukemia, a very easy leukemia for people to deal with. But then they gave her extreme chemo. Now, I don't know what age they gave her chemo, somewhere around 8 probably. Gave her heavy-duty amounts of chemo. Now, I just, you know, I won't go there, but that's just so bad. So she died, of course, but in a very bad way. And I have a picture of her mother and her friend there with her, and her mother's trying to smile and be happy, and so the girl will be happy. And my heart just, that kills me. That just kills me when we can save these kids. But maybe it's not meant to be, you know what I mean? You have to look at God in those ways, I suppose. But leukemia, get on a raw diet and lots of fruits, berries, and melons. Fruits and berries and melons are the best for the blood there is. Fruits and berries in particular revitalize the blood. If you want greens, okay, then get your alfalfas and your barleys and your wheatgrasses if you want. Your spinaches, okay. Get beets, clean the liver, heavy beet juice, a lot of parsley, a lot of cilantro. Yeah, you could do some greens and pump that blood as well. Liquid chlorophyll, can't beat it. But also the flavonoid-rich fruits and berries, tons of blueberries, blackberries, tons of dark grapes, and you'll be okay. Clean that blood up. Go after your bone marrow. I don't know what your blood work looks like here, but too much chemotherapy causes leukemia. You know, I've seen a lot of chemo just literally tear down the spleen. Well, bye-bye platelets, red blood cells, you know. And then, of course, it's going to tear down the bone marrow, too. Chemo's going to tear down all the body. There's nothing rebuilding about it. Wouldn't you think in today's world the idea would be rebuilding, regeneration, instead of adding to deterioration? Doesn't make sense, does it? So it's just you guys are really getting, I'm really proud of all of you. I really am. You have an appointment with me on the 19th. Well, you hit all that. Now, you also, now this is interesting, you also had a kidney removed and an enlarged prostate. Well, you're going to have an enlarged prostate when your kidneys are failing, because the prostate's just a bunch of cells and 2 fluids. And, of course, the lymph system, when the kidneys fail, the lymph system's going to back up in the prostate, just like it is all through the body. And now you're seeing enlarged prostate. But you only have 1 kidney left, and then you have the skin, which is your largest kidney. So you really want to sweat a lot, and you got to get this 1 kidney back in a state of health, my friend. So I'd be working on that kidney, and no proteins. That'd be the worst thing you could do for this leukemia and kidneys like that. 1 kidney, protein, that'd acidify the blood. Oh, that wouldn't be good. And then the kidney gets beat up on protein, so you wouldn't want to do any dairies, any proteins, anything like that. Hit your fruits, berries, and melons, and some greens and green juices, and pull yourself back out of this. I'll talk to you on the 19th there, Eagle. Thank you for all your comments. All your comments. BRIXGIN. Thanks for all your comments, guys. I love you all. I do. It's been a lot of years. More on this leukemia again here, same thing. So, I mean, get what you got left back into a state of health, and you'll be okay, my friend. You know what? You'll be okay. You get focused. You get on this journey. Don't wait. Start now. I know you probably are with the diet. Start now. Get motivated. Get moving on this. Have the clinic set you up with some herbs and get moving on this. Don't wait. I don't wait when it's cancer. There's no waiting at all. Loves Cartoon. I don't know. I don't follow Doug Graham's 80-10-10. I never even read it. I don't read other people's works anymore, honey. I, uh, I don't follow the calorie thinking. But if you want to, it's up to you. The news the other night, they're discovering that the lower the calorie diet, the better now. And I think someone addressed this, whether it was JG or whoever, but when you're looking at fruits and you're looking at raw foods, you're not looking at calories, you're looking at magnetic energies and you're looking at chemistry. And it is such a different look into health that you don't worry about calories, because the amount of nutrition and energy you're consuming. Remember, there's breatharians out there. There was this little yoga guy that was in the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times. And every day he took 2 ounces of water, a shot glass full of water, swished it around in his mouth and spit it out. That was it. And so I wanted to attempt that. That's why I went on oranges for 6 months. I wanted to attempt that level. I got to all oranges, but I thought as you breathe in nitrogen, that's your proteins. You breathe in carbon, that's your carbon you need for ATP. Your oxygen and carbon's right there anyway. You breathe in your hydrogen, you breathe in your fats, and that you can get, and then of course spirit. I mean, you're hooking to the highest. Matter of fact, to a physicist, it's all energy anyway. Chemistry's, way down the line. And chemistry's just, remember, electromagnetic frequencies of energy. So if you're consuming energy, aren't you consuming chemistry? So really, I mean, there's a lot of levels to think about this. There's been a lot of incredible thinkers. Maybe someday I'll go through a lot of books here and go with you, but whatever you can get a hold in, some of these older books they have in the pharmacy, I've got them in here for a reason. And there's a book company you can order a ton of books from, and you can ask Brenda about that company, but it's Health Research. Health Research. They've been around a long time. They used to have volumes and volumes of old spiritual books, all kinds, and health books, books you could, rare books and herb books. I'm super impressed with that company. I think it's kind of cut down because of the lack of knowledge of that company to people. And health food stores, most of them have lousy health book sections. A few of the contemporary books, people that don't have a clue about detox. I remember there was a detoxification book at this New Age bookstore. They didn't carry mine. This is a local one. They didn't carry mine, but they carried this medical doctor's detox book. And when I got it, I was just laughing at the ridiculousness of what she was saying. And it was like, that's too bad, So it's this health research has got an incredible amount of books. But you've got some incredible thinkers there that get into magnetics over chemistry. And a lot of you guys are energy healers, Reiki and Qigong, and you get a lot of energy work here. And so a lot of you spiritual people are understanding that spirit or the prana or the life force is where it's at. And so when you start getting into these higher levels of thinking, things like calories and isolates like vitamins and minerals and amino acids, those things just kind of fall away. They have no substance anymore because you're consuming, and you can consume as much as you want. It's not, did I get my 2,000 calories in today? I'll have some of this fresh made onion bread. Jennifer made that. She likes to dehydrate a lot of things. Jennifer made that. She likes to dehydrate a lot of things. Really strong, but I love onion bread. All dehydrated stuff. I need to eat more. I haven't had all my calories today. you'll find, most of you, that oftentimes when you eat, it takes your energy away from you. You know, so there's certain levels that when you're being more of God as you know it, you're trying to be more of a godly person. You're allowing more spirit or energy to flow through you. And I think I can talk about this in the health side. You don't need to eat as much. I can tell you, I don't eat, as big as I am, I don't eat hardly anything. Somebody asked me if I eat meat. Never, really. I mean, once in a blue moon. Jensen talked me into tasting some duck once. But I'm as much as a raw foodist as I can get right now. I do cheat. My cheat is probably going to be on a chocolate chip cookie or something. I do a baked potato once in a while. That's a bad cheat for me. I put on a lot of weight with nuts in the past, and it's like, man, I got completely away from nuts now. I don't even buy them anymore. So it's just like certain foods. I can sit and go have a salad for lunch, and if I'm not careful, it'll take my energy away from me. And for some people, a salad will give them energy. I'm already pumping with energy. That's my problem, is I'm pumping with a lot of energy, and I have to be careful. So it's not about calories, sweetheart. I can just tell you that. Loves cartoon. Thanks for your comments, all you guys. AVRIL. Hey, Chris. You know, thank you for that comment to Chris. You know what? That really pumped him up. It is a lot of work. He does do this on the weekends at home, and this is going to be a long video. So I feel for him right now. But you know what? I want to get to all your questions, and then we'll have a nice archive of videos here for you and for others, because once you guys get it, then you take on the robe, and you become just like Centron. He's pulling it on, wearing the robe, going down the line. Yeah, he's going to have some ups and downs and bumps, but Centron, more power to you. That's what life's about when you get on this ride, and you've got people you would love to get well, and they're just not going to do it. You just can't overly care. Just always be in the now, Centron, and just know your subject matter, which you do, and just ride that ride. You know, I've had a lot of discussions. They were up and down, and so, you know, you just learn. So you guys are doing good. And there'll be a new group of people coming through, and we'll have these videos all ready for them. So you guys, I'm just so proud of you guys. I talked to a lady yesterday. She was so good. She really knew her stuff. Cystic fibrosis, I think I already talked about that in the last video there, definitely. Definitely want to deal with cystic fibrosis. 100% raw, nothing cooked. Get the lungs formula, 3-lung tea, breathe it in like a Vicks vapor breathing treatment. Really hit that lymphatic system. Remember, acids scar tissue. Acids burn you. Acids break you down. Yeah, Shannon, and Shannon appreciate that. She's brand new here. She did go to this holistic school up the road here. But she appreciated that a lot. Let me see. This is we went on a 10-day water fast at 400 pounds. This guy was, or this lady was 400 pounds. Boy, sweetheart, I admire you. You really are taking this on. It was easy during the fast. Here's the fast on my way home. I got enlarged lymph nodes, back of my neck, on both wrists. I'm juicing and drinking water now. But is there anything else I can do? This is why I like the herbs. This is exactly why I like the herbs, and why you have to consider the endocrine gland system. You got to consider the adrenal glands and how they control the kidneys. Now the pituitary controls the kidneys as well. So this is why I say the endocrine glands control everything. Then you got to go to the kidneys, the colon, and the lymph system. And you're going to be successful in getting the adrenals up, going to help get that weight down. You'll metabolize your sugars better. Getting your thyroid up will increase the rate of metabolism. So everything will help you, sweetheart, to get yourself in line again. And so keep going down that road of raw as much as you can. I find the bigger the person, the more difficult they have on all raw for extended periods of time. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. Don't tell yourself you're heavy and you want to lose weight. Just focus on health. Just totally take to the positive focus, and you always want to be healthy. You're just going to, everything you do is about the health of your body. Don't focus you're skinny, don't focus you're obese, don't focus anything but health. Put it in a positive manner, it'll bring that energy through you better, and you'll heal better. Get those endocrine glands up. That's where the problem is in the endocrine glands. But then the problem comes into the lymph system. But you could back that up and say the lymph system was the causative factors in the first place, no matter who genetically passed you this weakness. Okay. Yeah, I wish I could eat fruit just for 10 years too, Coolins. I do. I don't know. I just got into so many roads. Oh my God, and the energy was so intense for me. Oh my God. But I do admit I was blessed. I did have a good organic source of oranges that were, they were heaven sent. That's all I can tell you. You can't find them anywhere like that ever. They were heaven sent. That's all I know. This was about iron supplements and Cooley's syndrome and the like. You're on regular blood transfusions and you've been on iron chelation therapy for a good 20 years. You have too much iron. Let's see what else. Frequent blood transfusions, potential problems dealing with customs when shipping herbal tinctures to Canada. We really, like I said, we really haven't had really too much problems getting our herbs into Canada. Now, unless they've forced the codex on you guys, that could be more of a problem then. But I haven't heard that yet. But, you know, when you have too much iron, I had someone that had high levels of iodine. And same thing with iron. You've got to get the colon healthy. You've got to get the adrenal glands healthy. You've got to get the spleen healthy. You really got to clean up your body and regenerate the villi, regenerate the bowel wall, regenerate the body. And so get that lymph. You can use blood formulas, adrenal gland formulas, kidney, lymphatics, do a spleen formula, liver formula, just clean those two up while you're doing it, and really just kind of get the body back into a state of health. Your iron will come down and balance out, and you'll be good. You'll go further and further away from blood transfusions, and then you'll be in good shape, my friend. That's the only way you can do it, really, that I know of. This person is a 38-year-old male. He's 6 foot, 145 pounds, so here's a thin person. So we know there's probably a little bit of malabsorption, but if you're a raw foodist in today's world, you're going to be thin because we're coming out of memory patterns of starches and fattening foods, and it's just we're going to cycle through a cycle of thinness for a while we straighten that up. Plus, we have a lot of pituitary problems today, so we're seeing a lot of growth in terms of height, and we're seeing thinness. We're seeing the suppression of the other glands. He's got the dry, sensitive lips. Of course, what dries up tissue? What makes things sensitive or hurt or painful? Acids. You want to get those out of there before you start popping some cancer cells here. So you want to move your lymph system again. I don't know if you have your tonsils or not. You're not nuts. I know a lot of people think people are nuts, but you know, that people call me nuts too, I guess. I don't know. We don't care, do we? If we're all a bunch of nuts watching this YouTube channel, that's okay, isn't it? At least we're good nuts. But yeah, if you're sensitive and dry there, you're too acidic, and be careful because you can break down your jawbone, your teeth. You want to move your lymph. And of course, here you are under the arms with the axillary lymph nodes, and oh wait, here's your kidneys. So you really got to get those kidneys and adrenals, clean up your bowels, remember? And I'm going to keep going over there because those are the main focus, and you can really cure literally just about anything doing that. But I certainly would do that. You could probably do some hot and cold applications to the mouth and stuff, but I don't know. The other thing you could do is some of that Heal All tea and hold it in your mouth, just to let those herbs absorb into the gums and draw and pull and heal. You could do that, but this is all about the lymph system and moving the lymph system, and that's an internal systemic problem, not a topical problem. Matter of fact, the more you apply things to your lips, the worse you could get. You have to be very careful. I probably wouldn't do anything but an aloe vera, and aloe vera could dry up your lips even more. So grapeseed oil maybe would be okay. It's a nutritive oil. Something like that would be okay. We see here, basically is saying that his diet only works for 30% of the population and leads to the form. Oh yeah, this is the one I had to laugh with. And this is Gravity Clonics. You know better. I addressed this the other day where this guy says it only works on 30% of the people, and that children that go raw get deformed. Oh, yuck. Well, you know, some people just are where they are. You know, that's not where we are. Look at the comments that you guys are having, the experiences you're having on fruit. I'm getting some great reports here, and I've had 40 years of, I mean, our reputation precedes us. I mean, we've healed people from all these issues for years and years and years, to some point where it's amazing to see the level of regeneration. Someone asked me about scoliosis stuff, and I want to get to that one. That's a good one too. We're going to be here a while, so I'm sorry about that. So try to bear with me here if I'm not getting to your questions. This person asked me for some help. It's Marjorie. Her dentist wants to do a root canal on one or more teeth. You know what? I mean, if you can get real raw fast enough, you get your lips moving fast enough, maybe you can save those. You know, you have to just work on it and see, sweetheart. Well, but if you do have a root canal, you only want it packed with a calcium substrate or something, some type of calcium, nothing else. I don't know of any way to avoid root canals quickly. You'd think it would, wouldn't you? The Heal All tea in your mouth, I know, works great for abscesses, but getting to decay into that level, that's a deeper level, a lot of detoxification and a lot of time on raw. So it's not a quick process. That's the problem. It took a lot of years to get there. It takes a while to back it up, sweetheart. But I would, you could use, now you've got algum fillings here. Oh, they want to use algum fillings. I tell you what, this is another case where I feel if a dentist uses algum fillings, they should be liable. That should generate a lawsuit, because now there's enough awareness, there's enough knowledge. We red bag mercury. We know that it is a toxin. It's a neurotoxin. It specifically likes brain tissue, and they should be liable for doing that. These dentists, they got to get with it. You know, I don't respect practitioners that don't grow. And if I don't grow, I don't deserve your respect. So you know, when you find you're doing something that's harmful, for God's sake, drop it and get out of there. And we as Homo sapiens need to be able to grow in our thinking. There's so many constipated people. Even in religions, they're so constipated, willing to kill over their belief system. It's like, come on, get over it. This is a new time. This is for growth. So you know, we got to all grow. And this is true with dentistry. You know, at least do your porcelain or your composite fillings, because you definitely don't want to do algams. Do gold if you have to do anything. Man. Working in the gardens. Yeah, thank you. Gosh, I'd love to know. Maybe that's who you are here. You didn't give me a symbol here. Maybe you're Monica. I don't know. Kalkeiku. What is that, sweetheart? I'd love to know what that is. What your thinking is on that. All right. Some of these comments are back and forth to yourselves, so I apologize if I break in on you. Sometimes I don't know that, you know. This one's something about the breath stinks and stuff. Bad breath, it smells, sickness. Yeah, your mouth is just an extension of your bowels, actually, you know. So from mouth to rectum or anus, you know, that's all just a big tube, actually. And as someone put it, Cintron or JG, or putrefaction. You know, when you really got a bad breath, you really got a bad GI tract. So you want to get that cleaned up there. That's putrefaction. That it could even be in a breakdown of your own cells. So if you got bad breath, you need a clean job. Get on the stomach and bowel formulas. Get on a raw food diet. Shuck the dead animal tissue for a while, get away from the dairy products, get away from all the starches, and really get in a good fruit and vegetable diet until your breath smells sweet. And then you're in good shape, at least partly so. So you really, get rid of that bad breath stuff. That's not good. If I smell it, I have clients that when I analyze someone, and those that come to school, I'll show you how we do that to a certain extent. And someone made a comment that they're now analyzing people. I tell you, once I teach you iridology, you'll be able to look at the eyes and see where their problems are too. So I'm going to really try to do you a course of iridology on this as well. So we'll just figure out how we can do it. I think with Drew or Chris's help, we can zoom in on things. I can really, you know, I think I can do a pretty good job. Just give you a simple overview, because iridology can be real simple. This is about nature and the like. Dogs being vegetarian. Not important, but if you got a dog with cancer, try to get him vegetarian, and then you'll save him. You know, use the same formulas you would on yourself. We get a lot of dogs in here with cancer, and we save a great many of them. You know, Steve, crap guy, you're really a cool dude. I was going to bring another mango, but it was only about this big. This is what we get in the stores. This mango's this big. I was so busy, I couldn't get down to this mango island. We have a mango island down here. I'm sitting there craving these gorgeous mangoes and can't get the time to drive. It's quite a drive, but my God, I missed that. I did get some watermelon, I'll tell you. It was okay. I opened one up today. I do a half a watermelon every morning, to give you some idea of what I eat. If I'm out of watermelon, and I've got mangoes there too. The problem is, generally, if I do the watermelon, I'm not hungry for the mangoes, and the mangoes go bad, and it's like, because I don't eat a lot for breakfast. I eat fruit or particularly watermelon if I can get it. My body is craving good, well-grown, seeded watermelon. Simplicity, no crap. Your son Chris is turning 18 this weekend. And with all the bite change, he's gone through development, an underbite. Oh, yeah. Look at his parathyroid gland. Move his lymph system here. Get his lymph system moving. You know he's at 18. He's got kidneys and adrenals. I mean, there's no one that doesn't. And so really go after that and move your son's lymph system and check his parathyroid gland to where he's not losing tonicity or structure or tendon or connective tissue, because that's going to create a malformation of the jaw, as it does scoliosis, malformation of the spine. You're going to see the loss of structure, the pulling of structure one way or another here. And so that's an area you want to think about, is parathyroid, and you want to get his lymph moving. And just take a look at that and see. If you need my help, let me know, okay? And I appreciate all your comments, Steve. You're one swell dude. Now, wait, so how? Yeah, these are old ones, and I apologize with you. The second set of teeth. Now, I figure if one human can grow a second set of teeth, why can't we all grow a second set of teeth? Maybe it's the way our dentistry is done that disturbs all that. Or maybe it is we don't do raw foods. You know, I was thinking, if you came from raw food parents who came from raw food parents and you were raised raw food, can you imagine? Jennifer's little 7-month-old is already walking around the crib holding herself up. It's 7 months old. I mean, she's a powerhouse of raw. It's like, oh my God. I mean, so when you look at that and you start thinking, man, it'd be amazing. And the father of the child is not even close to a raw foodist. Amazing. I just think the human is so underdeveloped, especially in his intellect and his consciousness. Obviously, the human consciousness is definitely dragging its heels. Some people still act like they live in the dark ages. So man just doesn't want to grow for some reason. I think he's constipated. He's constipated lymphatically. He's constipated in the bowels. You know, how do we grow and become an advanced species if we cook dead food and eat dead tissue? If you're going to eat dead animals, okay, but eat them raw. Don't cook your meat. But then I advise you take a parasitic formula every once in a while to deworm yourself. You know, I look at these shows on Man versus Food, of course. I like him. That guy, I don't know, he's going to kill himself. But you got that other guy that travels around and eats everything under the sun. I would love to send him a deworming program and just see what he gets out. I'd be scared to see what that guy gets out of him. The things he's eating, I don't know. You know, man's funny. I have the same fear. Demonic, symphonic. I have a fear someone's going to knock my teeth out. I mean, that's just the way it is, you know. Why fight in the first place? But, man, you don't want to lose your teeth. Okay, so here's sarcoidosis, and hearing themselves from this, and certain sounds curable from what I've heard in these videos. Oh, yeah. You know, the lymph nodes, nodules on the lungs, you know, easy. Well, what would be the problem then? What do you think would be the problem in this? Sarcoidosis, okay? What would be the problem with this? It marks itself as swollen lymph nodes, nodules on the lungs, fatigue. Where would we be at? Unknown origin. I don't think there's not one of you guys right now that couldn't cure this case. That's what I think of you guys. You guys are good, and you hit it right on the head. You know how to cure this case, my friend. Go forth and conquer. Oh, I'm feeling a little quirky today, guys. My plants gave me a boost, but wore me out. This was about, you've written me again, Lemonade, about your pain and stuff like this. And again, you know, you keep using these herbs. Use herbs for pain. I think I addressed this the other day for you. You definitely want to get that lymph moving. I tell you, if you're in a lot of pain, you always take the least amount of pain meds and the weakest ones you can. You know, morphine sulfate is a killer. Bad news bears. Notice people that have put on morphine sulfate generally die pretty quick. So you want to get away from anything that's real strong, Dilaudid and stuff like this. Just go down to the Advils and things like that. We've got some pain formulas, some inflammation joint formulas that will help with the inflammation or the acidosis. Ultimately, it's a base chemistry experience. You know, I've listened to you and watched you come along here. You're moving it. You get deep into that lymph system. I would stay away from the acid fruits. I would stay away from the nightshade families, the tomatoes, the potatoes, the eggplants. Most people with arthritis can't deal with them anyway. So I'd stay away from those, and I'd stay away from the acid fruits unless they don't bother you. The lemons, the oranges, the grapefruits, the pineapples, the kiwis, the strawberries, I'd probably stay away from them. You might be able to tolerate blueberries and blackberries, but I'd stay away from those, honey, and to get this pain out of you. Stay away from starch, of course, no protein whatsoever, and no dairy products. Of course, you already know that. I know how you let you know. Someone asked me about kava kava. Well, everybody has to have a little. You can ferment kava kava, can't you? Didn't I see a tribe do that and have a little fun with that, kind of like their beer? I like all these herbs, to tell you the truth. Kava kava is a bit of a nerve rush, but I don't mind kava kava. Now this is one, I wrote important on here, so bear with me on this one. This is from Kaylee, and she has sent me a lot of information here. So let's see, number one, while talking to people, though, I am being confronted with many questions that I truly do not know. Oh yeah, you've been working this program. You know what? Go out in the woods, go on the beach, go somewhere you love, and practice giving lectures to the birds, to the trees, to whomever you want. Make believe you're talking to a friend. Bring a friend along. But I used to do this all the time, in both the spiritual side and the health side, because it's an art. It takes a while to learn how to communicate. And sometimes it takes a little bruising to communicate, where you say things and someone comes back and you go, oh, and you don't know, and so you go home and you think it out, and then you know what to say the next time. That's happened to me a lot in life. I'm not one of those people that think in the moment, how should I respond? I generally I respond more aggressively or emotionally, or, you know, and I never wanted to be that way. I wanted to be more dialectically controlled, if you will, maybe, ability to think on the moment, to do that. So that takes not caring what the person says, and then stepping back and analyzing that and being able to respond to that. And emotionally, I tend to be an emotional hit first, and then that shuts my mind down. So I would go out and I would practice giving lectures or talks, and this goes for all of you on like I say, on the plants. You know, you're there, all your friends, and sit around and have a talk and learn and work yourself in how, because what you can see in here in the mind doesn't always come out here, and I know a lot of you know that. And so you know what you want to say, but it doesn't form and come out. So you work that. You work that to where that rhythm is good. Do you see it and you articulate it? And that's what I would do, is work myself that way. And then you're going to have some bumps and stuff. Intellectualism, you got to have some knowledge. This guy hit me about the intellect. It's not about the intellect. It's about the mind. And there's a difference between mind and consciousness. Thoughts and intellectualism and consciousness. Consciousness is far greater, can see more, know more, because it is the substance of all life. the mind is a very limited tool that can get you into trouble. And man is very immature in his mind. I can introduce you to some people that are very mature in their mind that would show you what I'm talking about. So I would work that, work it in that way. Number two, also many women are asking me about detoxification while pregnant or nursing. Excellent question, okay? Now, I'll put it this way. We've had women in here that have been pregnant with cancer, okay? Now, keep in mind, we don't treat cancer. We don't look at cancer disease. We understand what cancer really is, don't we? It's acid damage to cells. So we know that system is the lymph system. I am always for the mother first. So I'm going to go after the health of that mother, hoping that she'll carry the fetus. But I'm going after the health of that mother because that's what's key. And no matter what. So, but when you're pregnant and nursing, I don't detoxify. When you're nursing, you detoxify. You're going to detoxify your baby. That's okay if you do it slowly, okay. All right, that's okay. But in extreme situations, then you have to take the baby off and detoxify yourself aggressively if you're dealing with cancer. If you're not dealing with cancer, then as you clean yourself up, you'll clean your baby up. I've detoxified a ton of infants. And so, I remember one kid, he was shedding his skin. The parents were detoxifying him so fast. Came out an extremely healthy and aware baby, but people freaked out. But I can just tell you with pregnancy, I'd rather just kind of slow things down, eat healthy. You can always go on a kidney formula, an endocrine gland formula, stomach and bowel formula. I'm real cautious with the lymphatic herbs, and it's just me. I'm just real cautious with them. Some pregnant women have bellied up, but I'm real cautious with the lymphatic herbs without pushing detox too much. Although you go on a raw food diet, you can't stop your body from wanting to be well. So, you have to go down that road, but you have to consider the health of the fetus too. If it's a weak fetus and the mother aborts it, well, then she can conceive and have another one because it's soul that's the issue here. Soul will wait and come into her other body that she prepares. So you have to understand more about how creation is put up, whether you don't want the spiritual side in here or not. There's some things you've got to learn in the health of this, and one of them is that we're souls. I don't care what religion you're from. Get that down, that you're not the physical body. If you believe that, okay, but not going to get along with me well because we're not the human body. And when you have sick people, I go after these cases like that. One woman went on all fruit on the third day, had no milk in her breasts. That's interesting to me, and it is possible that the body shifted to detoxification and quit producing milk. And that's what I mean about activity as well. You can't run and have a lot of activity and detoxify at the same time because your body has to turn the energy away from elimination and put it to the muscles and everything. So really focused energy really gets more done here. So probably a good example of why you shouldn't detoxify too aggressively when you're a nursing mother. Probably wouldn't be a good idea. And the toxins going through the milk. Well, the toxins are going to go through the lymph system, but your nutrition will get into the milk, that's for sure. The toxins won't go through the milk so much. Let me tell you, the toxins are already in the baby. I can tell you that already. When you're a female and you conceive, your baby's hooked right to your lymph system, and your lymph system becomes the baby's lymph system. We see that all the time there, so it's too late. And you can wean the baby. The best time to wean a baby is before 2 years. Jennifer, she's only 7 months old, and she's got her on vegetables and fruits already. And she has no teeth yet. So I have 7-month-old cancer cases, and they're on fruits. So somewhere in there, I do like to keep them on a good, coconut milk, almond milk, and kind of a nice mixture there, and keep them moving. The medical profession considers 2 years old the weaning time. I concur with that, although a year before that, even introduce the fruits and berries and start going down that line. But after 2 years, we can't digest milk anymore. So why would you even drink it? This is about breaking a fast. Some people say it is not broken properly. A person can screw up their metabolism. Well, you know what? You always break a fast and start a fast on fruit. It's just that simple. You break a fast on fruit and you start a fast on fruit. So you get rid of depending how long you want to go, you want to build up a 1, 2, 3 day fruit diet before you jump off into fasting. And the same way with coming off. You want to come off with 2 or 3 days of juice fasting. If you want to have 1 day of fruit juices, if you're doing a 40-day fast. But I have tons of people do 40-day fasts here, and they do a salad after, but they're doing fruit fasts. So yeah, you just be gentle that way on yourself, and you'll be good. Superfoods. I love superfoods. Look at my superfood blend. It's a good blend. There's a lot of good superfood blends out there. And there's some where they put digestive enzymes and probiotics. They have a good superfood blend. Some lady brought one in the other day. I can't remember the company. Great superfood blend. And then they started messing with it. Probiotics, digestive enzymes, and they added other stuff in. It's like, oh, man. Of course, if you want spirulina, chlorella, if you want palm scum, okay. I do like the hemp protein, the goji berries, the chia powder. All that stuff's good. I like the royal jelly. I put that in my superfood. Cost me a lot of money to get it, but I like it. Synergy powder. I don't know what that is. Seems like everyone has glandular problems. No kidding. A little study of the endocrine glands will show that right off. What is the best suggestion for someone not taking glandulars but expressing many? The only other situation you have is herbs. I'm telling you, if you don't use glandulars, you have herbs. That's it. And most of the herbs, we don't know which herbs are really the best for glands except for the berries. I will say that it's always a lymphatic issue. So you research as much, you look at our endocrine gland formulas, and you use them. I'd probably take a lot of them. I'd probably overdo the endocrine gland formula and adrenal formulas. If you have high blood pressure, I don't recommend licorice. Just keep that as a side note. I want to make sure that I get all this, trying to keep this list so I can have a nice, so you can have access to this without reviewing them if you want to view what we're saying here. Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do, sweetheart. You just have to use the herbs if you don't use the thing. And you're in the mountains of Israel? Cool beans. I've got a lot of great Israelis that come here, and I hope that we become worldwide and a power to be reckoned with, and people like you. I love people like you. I love these questions, good questions. You keep working them. You keep helping your people. I'm just a little cautious with pregnancy and nursing, of course, but it doesn't stop me from doing the raw. Getting them up too high on detox, I'd probably wait. Unless they're in trouble, of course. Here's one, ferritin levels, heavy menstruation with clots, fruit diet and juice vegetables. What fruits and vegetables are high in iron and protein? Or what fruits and vegetables are high in iron and protein? Well, your greens are going to always have more amino acids, I think, than your vegetables. Than your fruits, because they're more complex structures. So if you want more amino acids, go to your alfalfa is considered one of your top amino acid plants. Again, I like the kelps, the seaweeds and stuff. I really think the seaweeds are great in terms of nutrition. Um, all your spinaches and all that, of course, are great. Clean up your bowels. This is you have to clean the mucosa in the bowel. Clean up the GI tract, get the plaque out of there, go into the bowel wall, get that interstitial lymphatic constipation out of there, and really start regenerating the gut tissue and the adrenal glands, get the kidneys moving, and this will help pull you out of this problem here. Beets might help you a little bit there too. Beet bulbs, a lot of dark greens. You have low hydrochloric acid and pancreatic insufficiency. I would do the pancreatic herbs, the capsules, if you are not producing enough digestive enzymes. Could be also not enough bicarbonate. I would do absolutely no protein. You don't want to take HCl at all. You want to restore the stomach tissue and pancreatic tissue, the gut tissue. This is telling me that you have chronic issues. Is your eyes hazel? If your eyes is hazel, you have chronic bowels. If you have blue eyes but you have brown around the pupil, that's chronic bowels. But I can tell you what I see here. You have chronic gut, you got chronic small bowels, you got pancreatic issues, so and maybe even some liver. So that's what's neat about the herbs, is you can go into these different tissues with the herbs, clean up the gut here, get away from protein. I'll tell you right now, that's not your case here. Can't use protein anyway, remember that? It's amino acids that the body requires. You get plenty in fruits and vegetables. What you need to do is restore the health of the gut tissue, and then you can produce your own hydrochloric acid better and your own pancreatic enzymes. Supplying them and supplying HCl will only serve to shut down your ability to produce. You just get yourself worse and worse and worse for the sake of symptoms. So you have to get away from the foods that require you to do this. And fruits does not require you to take HCl. Low in digestive enzymes, use the pancreatic herbs, the capsules. And then I would super chew, especially if you're doing vegetables. I would probably do, for a while, I would probably just go on a fruit diet with green drinks and get away from the fiber of fruits, because you're not having a good digestive experience with them. You're going to get excessive fermentation. You're going to get gas and bloatiness, and that's not going to serve you any good. You're not going to be happy with that. So I would get that fiber out of there. That's why I invented juice extractors. Could that mean we're not really designed to have vegetables? Maybe, I don't know. But it's enough to say that the fruits are going to be much better for you. Super chew. Chew, chew, chew. Digest your food in your mouth first, and that'll go down. At the same time, get your pancreas working. Go with that, with the pancreatic formula. Maybe pick up a liver formula. Work on the GI tract. And all this will restore itself. Remember, kidneys and adrenals and lymph. Always kidneys, adrenals, and lymph, and endocrine gland. You're going to do all those together. Because you got to get away from taking these pills, because you're going to do yourself a disfavor when you wake up someday and can't digest anything, honey. So you can't do this. The Puritan 6. Male. Because you got to get away from taking these pills, because you're going to do yourself a disfavor when you wake up someday and can't digest anything, honey. So you can't do this. The Puritan 6. Male. I tried eating just fruits for a couple of days and my blood pressure went higher. Well, get on the kidney formulas and stuff and open up those kidneys. You'll be okay there. Just chew, 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 chew. You're probably so acidic that you're holding water from the fruits. And that's initially that's what happens, is we hold water a lot from fruits. Edema makes the blood pressure go up. Now, can you rebuild bone in the mouth? Absolutely. I think I told you about a cancer case we had, that he had a tumor in his jaw here, and they cut up most of his jaw, got the cancer out, most of it anyway. And then I can't remember whether he did chemo or radiation, but it came back. So he came in here. We got this all cleaned out, and he had x-rays periodically through the first year here, and this jaw was growing completely back. That was pretty cool. We accelerated the growth of this jaw, and there was always a little hard knot right here. And he asked me, do you think there's any cancer cells in there? And I said, well, who cares? Probably, but your body has isolated it. It's closed. Forget it. You're healthy. You've won. That's it. Well, his oncologist kept saying, well, let me biopsy that and just see. Well, who cares? This guy was healthy. He was great. And so he kept asking his oncologist. His oncologist kept asking him if he could biopsy it. He said, no, I think I'm going to leave it alone. After a while, the oncologist got to him. 7 pokes, scar tissue there, 7 pokes. And I hope you can see this. This is how he died. I couldn't bring him back. He was on I think it was for, I remember right, 500 milligrams of morphine. Didn't touch him. The only way he could get out of pain, he stood on his head in the corner for hours. That's how he died. Ugh. I told him I'd shoot you, Luke, if I could. I would. I tell you, I look at that and I just, I have so many cases like this, so if you think I'm mad at medical doctors, that wouldn't be the proper word. It's just, it pulls on my spirituality at times, guys, so forgive me, okay? But I'm telling you, you sit in this chair and you have people come to you that's butchered. And this is one case. If he had just left it alone, he would have been live and well. It took him a lot. We got him so healthy. The sad thing, we got him so healthy, it took him a year to die like this. Jesus Criminy. Okay, I have been dealing with eye floaters. Boy, oh, Luke. I've been dealing with eye floaters all my life. Is there anything I can do? Vancouver. I love that dog. I love your image there. Tassia? Okay. Floaters can be mucus at the best, and at worst, you're getting some retina detachment or some pupil detachment. I would sincerely suggest you use our eye wash to help move blood and lymph topically. Go internally. We have a formula called Visioplex. It is a lab's formula, but it has raw eye tissue. It has bilberry. It has a lot of goodies. But I would also look at my parathyroid gland to make sure that I have good, strong fingernails. I don't have spider veins or varicose veins or hemorrhoids. Make sure everything is toned and tight. Someone asked me about wrinkles. The same thing. That's parathyroid weakness. Whenever you see your connective tissue, you're losing it, you're wrinkling up. You see that in smokers who bring in acids without buffering it with a water pipe of some sort. You bring acids into the body, it sucks the calcium right out of you and you start losing your connective tissue. You get depressed. Your veins bulge out. You have hernias. Your teeth go. You get scoliosis, scleroderma. You start losing your form. And so this would be something I would look at in case it isn't just mucus. Mucus is a lot of times what we have with floaters, and the simple eye wash topically will take care of that well. But internally, you want to move your lymph, get that moving, because you run the risk of cataracts, which is cholesterol plaquing. Cholesterol, remember, cholesterol is the body's main antacid. There's no such thing as bad and good cholesterol. I mean, this stuff is so stupid out there. There's only cholesterol. It's used as the body's main antacid, adrenal steroids and phospholipids. And of course, the lymph fluid itself is a lipid-based fluid. Has to be to deal with acids, because acids need that extra protection of a lipid, or it will damage you. It's that simple. And so calcium again. So use those things and see how you do. Get that lymphs moving though. Let's see. My stepfather is Ted. My stepfather's 82, is starving to death. He got bladder cancer about 8 years ago, and they removed his bladder and used part of his colon to build tubes from his kidneys to a port to an external bag. Okay. Since that, he's had many infections, blah, 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 blah. Tons of antibiotics. He has a blockage in his colon from scar tissue now and has lost over 40 pounds, down to 120, and can barely eat, and some days not at all. The doctor and dietitian told him to go on a low-fiber, liquid, or soft food diet. When you mentioned sulfurs, it struck a chord with me, as I have suspected the antibiotic might have played a part. Yeah, really suppresses the lymph system. Yeah, he drinks Ensure and can eat eggs, deviled, scrambled, etc. Well, I think Ensure should be sued when they put their little bottle of Ensure hugging fruits and vegetables. What relationship does Ensure have to the quality and the health of fruits and vegetables, for God's sakes? That's a slick little commercial that I hate people that use dishonesty and deceptive advertising practices to sell a product. You give anybody Ensure that has a post-stroke or pneumonia, and you can see the mucus flowing. These are congesting formulas. They do not exude the vitality of fresh fruits or vegetables at all. That's a lie. That's misrepresentation of their product. And your stepfather's in trouble. So no matter whether he's got a bag or not, you're going to go after those kidneys. You're going to go after his adrenal glands. You're going to go after his lymph system. You're going to have to go after his colon. Because, see, he's so inflamed, he has so much acidosis that his tissue's scarring. And that's what makes scar tissue grow rapidly or grow adhesions, is acidosis. So you have to go after him aggressively. And if he can, he's 82, but if he's willing, then you get on the fruits and the berries and the melons as much as you can. He doesn't eat much anyway, but it's what he eats. You might get some green drinks around him just to kind of pump him up a little bit, because he's starving to death. There's no question he has interstitial lymphatic constipation in the gut wall. And so his kidneys aren't filtering his lymph system. That was obvious. He lost his bladder from that. And so you've got to get those two kidneys in line. Just because he has a bag doesn't mean that you can not save him and give him some more years of some comfort and some joy. So, Teresa, good luck, sweetheart, and go after him the best you can. Whatever he's willing to do, he can listen to this particular channel or this particular one for him, but you've got to get him absorbing again. So I would give him green drinks, some fruits and berries, some melons, and enough to say that what they have him on will kill him. My aunt's MD removed a swollen lymph node recently, scared her that it could be cancer. After they removed it, they found out that the swollen lymph node was not cancer. Yeah, that's funny. Let's see. I'll remove my septic tank at home because it's full. But then I realized, well, I really didn't have to. I could have just cleaned it out. Now, I don't have a septic tank, and every time I use the toilet, it backflows in my house. Okay. After they removed it, they found out it was not cancer, and she still feels bad. They also scared her into doing a full hysterectomy 8 years ago, causing all her discomfort. Plus, she is hypothyroid, taking Synthroid. Would you send me your name? Sign that under there so I know I can talk to you by your name, because I love your code here. Well, to have the swollen lymph node originally tells you that what's backed up, your lymph system. and your lymph nodes wouldn't swell if your kidneys were filtering. So you're going to find her adrenal glands, of course she had a hysterectomy. So her lymph system was backing up in her ovaries, in her uterus. She either had fibroids or endometriosis. She had cervical cancer, ovarian cysts. All these things are a byproduct of your lymph system. And of course your lymph system is tied to your kidneys and your adrenals. And so this is where you want to go here. Hope that removing that lymph node wasn't in a place that compromised the tissue on the other side of it. That's the seriousness of removing lymph nodes. So you have to work with her. Hypothyroid, use a glandular, then that'll pop up her thyroid, then she won't need to have to be on T4 there, and you'll get her thyroid back healthy again. But I can tell you she's just lymphatic up and suppressing thyroid function. Again, think about pituitary, but keep going with that thyroid thinking and you'll be good. There's a glandular called thyroid cytotrophin. Real strong and be very helpful for her. Nick. Hey, Nick, man. Rock man. Good dude, man. You know, you look a lot like Dan the Man here. You know, when I was in the woods, I had a good beard, and I had my hair probably down to my middle of my back, but people thought I was way out there. But I was I was a caveman, you know. I was all on oranges, and so I bet I scared a few people. So nowadays, the beards always got to me. They always make me itch. My hair is real thick. I'm glad I'm getting a little thinning. My hair is thick, and I never did like that. I haven't heard of this dude, but I bet he's a blessed soul. And you live in England, but you're from Florida? Come back, man. England's too cold, too you know, foggy. I like Florida here. How feasible it would be to practice here in UK? Well, sure, it's feasible. As far as I know that I love Portugal. I love Portuguese people. I know I can practice in Portugal free. I know that the Baptista there, he paved the way. He was a senator, and now he has a top school there, the School of Science and Biology there. He's got a naturopathic school, chiropractic, osteopathy. This guy is a big dude there. I love to be able to do that in a country. You know, it's funny when you are trying to practice something like this that can literally cure 90-some% of the people that come to you of anything they're suffering with. The costs are so much lower than anything medical, and yet you're chastised, jailed, criticized. It's amazing, and yet they call America free. Portugal, so much nicer. A sad thing that we have to be that way, but you know what? Portugal, so much nicer. A sad thing that we have to be that way, but you know what? We the people. I firmly believe we the people. Ron Paul, we the people. I can't believe Ron Paul doesn't get more people after him. If people only knew what kind of a country they could have with Ron Paul. Look, I still have a bunch of these guys. I need to kick it up, maybe. I'm not feeling so energetic to move fast, though. Keep the night of muscle. Oh, here. This is from Nellie, is it? I have acidosis and have gone raw. Could not sleep last night due to muscle spasm in my thighs. I had walked and jogged for 1.5 hours. Now I know the problem. See what I'm talking about, Nellie? You just experienced what I've been talking about when you're not moving lymph and you're out there creating more acid, lactic acid, then you start spasming because it pulls calcium out. So that was a good lesson, Nellie. It'll help you to help people that think they can just go out and pound the pavement. This man is in Sweden. He knows an herb store in Stockholm. So, yeah, you know what? The best thing I can tell you, my friend, is get the list of the herbs we have and see what you can come up with. Make your own formulas. See what you have in Sweden there. There are ways to get into Sweden, I know, from another country, but you'd have to ask the people here. I know this codex has really hurt a lot of countries. This is the one about the lungs. They said it looks like that glass particles are all over the place in her lungs. She did some drugs and cigarettes. That wouldn't cause the glass particles. Could be calcifications, but they should know the better. They want to cut into the lungs. Oh, yeah, you know what? I'd really detoxify myself before I would have them cut in my lungs. I'd really use the lung formulas. I'd use the 3-lung tea to breathe in there, break loose up any hard calcifications or any other mineral deposits that have locked together. And really just hit the raw, really hit the detoxification hot and heavy. Get the kidneys, get the adrenals, get the GI tract, and really get out of there. You said you smoked out of glass pipes years ago, but I don't think that has anything to do with it, sweetheart. I really don't. I think this is what acidosis is doing in the wall of your lungs. This is, I forgot what your name is, sweetheart. Avril. Osteopenia, and I bruise easy. Now, I want all you to help her. Now, what happens when you bruise easy and you're losing your bones? You're losing calcium, exactly. And why would you be losing calcium? Acidosis. So you also might be having a client that has a parathyroid weakness. So you would address the parathyroid and you would get that lymph moving. You could use your higher calcium veggies like all your dark greens, parsleys and spinaches and alfalfas. But kelp would be excellent because it's the highest plant form of iodine and calcium. So really hit these high foods, but at the same time move your lymph because that's why you're losing calcium. And of course address the parathyroid gland and you'll be good. You want that bruising to stop and you want no more osteopenia. And somebody was having scoliosis here. And I want to write this down so I can show you where I address this. And okay. A while ago I read that 10 days of water fasting equal 30 days. I think I'd read, yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but that's pretty, at least I've said this before, at least you can detox faster than you create it. Thank God! Or most people would give up and go home. Yes, lettuce is a great sedative. Now this is quite a long email. 37-year young female, Monica. Is this the one? Oh no, this is the one. I want to address you. I want to address you at another time. Lipedema and okay. Thank you for answering the question. I have already experienced another healing crisis. Keep it up. This is Kratos, or maybe it's pronounced differently. My school did not excel in spelling, let me tell you. So I'm not the best at it. Sorry. That's the way it is. You know, when you're from where I'm from, males didn't walk into English spelling and typing. That just wasn't the doors we walked into. So a lot of us suffered from that, you know. Just continue to shrink. Good. Your tonsils are shrinking. Keep going, man. Keep going. You're doing really good. You have some ups and downs, but just keep on going. Sounds like you're doing good. It's when you don't have healing crises that I worry. And yet there's some that just don't have them, won't have them for months, and it gets frustrating. And then others just let go. I think it has a lot to do with your heart. You know, when you're working with someone that has a closed heart, they're not going to do well. I can tell you, especially when it's cancer and their life's at stake, when their heart's closed down, they're probably not going to make it. So we try to open that heart with love and whatever we see they need, and I try to work them through these things, because if I can't get that heart opened, not good. Not good. That's a big healing channel, is that heart. We all know that. Calcified ovarian cysts. All right, this is, I'll just call you Nye. Anyway, I love your videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see here. I think my problem is pituitary. Calcified ovarian cysts. Okay, let me write this down, because I think that's a good one. Calcified ovarian cysts. Well, are you surprised? I mean, in terms of calcification relating to cysts, anytime you see acidosis, you're going to see the lymph system that's hanging around a while. Because if your lymph system's moving, it's a lipid-based system, and if it's moving, then it doesn't have a chance to get overly anionic, overly coagulated, dehydrated, because it's moving and it's being filtered through the kidneys. And that's part of the problems we face, is the inability to move lymph. And so then, obviously, as we talked about just a few minutes before, calcium is what the body comes in and uses to fight that. And so now you see calcifications, you see your cysts and tumors, you can also see cholesterol and lipid deposits and all these things like that. So you're just seeing the reality of acidosis. Now, the reality of detoxification is that it takes the reality of acidosis away. I love that. It's as simple as it is, because there's only two sides to chemistry. What's the big deal? You know which side of chemistry your body's on. You simply got to get on the other side. That's simple. And you guys are really getting that. This one is about this lady's husband. He's 26 years old, 5'9". He's around 150 pounds. And I need your guys' help on this one. Okay, he's got blue eyes, but there's a brown/yellow around the pupil. Now, when you see yellow or orange in your eye anywhere, you'll see it mostly around the pupil. Right around the pupil of your eye in iridology is your stomach first, immediately around the pupil, a perfect circle, and then your GI tract around that. Your ascending colon, your half of your transverse colon in the right eye on the outside, it carries across the left eye and down the descending colon and out on the left eye. On the inside is your small bowels, like on the inside here. Now, you can see in most eyes, you can follow that ridge. The thicker the ridge is around that bowel area means interstitial lymphatic constipation. And if you see a thick ring around your bowel wall, you'll start to see a brown ring immediately around the pupil, which is a malabsorption ring. And I'll get more into this when I do this class. But the brown around a pupil or in a blue eye is chronic lymph. Chronic lymph. This guy's got sulfur and maybe chronic bowels. And so you have to detoxify that out. That orange or yellow is going to come out in the stools. You're going to poop and see orange or yellow stools. It's going to come out. You want it to come out. Now, when you see the sulfur in someone like this, sulfur is an aphrodisiac to the fungus community. Medical doctors haven't learned this. I have some friends that they know this now because they have it and they're involved with this. So it creates high fungal problems. A lot of women get a yeast infection taking a sulfur drug because it spawns fungus, which is candida, which is the yeast, same family. So this gentleman has some chronic and some sulfured bowels, probably a lot of fungus in him. She sees some rips or caves in the iris. Those are deep genetic weaknesses. Wherever you see them, you're learning. Good job. Doesn't matter what you call them, right? Family history of irregular heart pains. Cancer, grandmother. There's more. Okay. Overall healthy and in good shape compared to most people, including me. Thin but muscular. Thin but muscular. Well, that thin, we have to look at that. Thin, again, there's the brown around the colon. There's malabsorption. See how that links to that? He's thin, but he's muscular, but he's malabsorbed. So we'll see if those muscles stay on him when he detoxifies. But he needs to get that chronic colon fixed up so he can get better absorption. He's thin, but you see how that relates there? Has night sweats, so you know his kidneys are weak because the skin is helping him make up for it. At least his thyroid's not too bad, so he can have some night sweats. Athlete's foot on and off throughout his life. What do we got here? We've got fungus in the feet. Well, why wouldn't we? We have sulfur in the gut. We have a spawning ground for fungus. We have kidneys that are down. The skin's sweating to make up for it. And he has athlete's feet, so he has a lot of fungus in the feet. He has fungus all through him, to be honest with you, honey. So you really need to detoxify him and go after that fungal problem. He will not get rid of athlete's foot until you get his lymph working and go use Parasite M, and it'll help him. But get the kidneys, get the lymph, and to go after that GI tract. Lymphatic 1 capsules, stomach and bowel, get into that gut and take care of that gut. Heals quickly. I don't think he's ever been vaccinated. Oh, that's pretty good. I grew up on a sad American diet. Okay, he's still having trouble getting over nuts. Okay. Great. Question. Corn question. Is corn a cheat thing or should it be avoided? It's a cheat thing. You know, it's a starch. Nobody digests it, but eat corn raw. If you want to have some cheat stuff, popcorn, but dry pop it. It's a good cheat. Oh, is this going on the same one? He has severe acne as a teenager with skin. Skin's trying to make up for a lack of kidney filtration of the lymph. See how that is there? Currently he eats mostly fruits and veggies. Good. Occasionally cooked potatoes, quinoa, rice, pasta. Well, he probably craves it. With that sulfur like that and the candida like that, he probably craves pastas. I mean, I wouldn't, put him on that Parasite M for a few months, going to have to, and he'll get over the craving for pastas because there's nothing tasty about those sort of things. And it'll help him to have the self-discipline to do it because when you have a lot of fungus, that self-discipline's being really tested here. Let's see, he did apple cider vinegar every morning, but it's backed off. I don't care. I never do apple cider vinegar. Thank you. I'd rather have a glass of lemonade in the morning. Digestive enzymes, no way. Jose, he loves chlorella. Okay, if he likes palm scum, go ahead. I don't care. But if you're going to detoxify deeper, you might want to hold it off. Now, he has hernias. He blew a hernia in his right groin. Okay. Now, what's going on here? Did we just talk about that? I'll write that on here, although I've addressed hernias before. But we're also talking about candida. Okay. Yeah, so he's checked that parathyroid gland. He passed out once. Weird feeling in the hernia, I guess it was, and scared the crap out of you. Yeah, well, you know what? It can affect the autonomic nervous system and literally make you pass out too. I mean, the bowels, everything's hooked together like that, so these things can really be affected here. He went to get the operation done differently than usual in that he didn't have it. Oh, this is the one about the metal stitching. And I addressed that in another video, honey, about the metal stitching. So, again, I would have them look at that. The guys that put it in and did it. Again, if it's an acid metal, you have no choice to try to cut it out. They probably in tissue. I don't know if tissue's growing around it, because tissue generally doesn't grow on acid metals. It pulls away from it, and that's why you have gum receding when you have acid metals. That's why these amalgam fillings and all this, and these metal caps. So they always keep that metal cap. Never use metal caps. I mean, that you always want alkaline metals. This is why titanium is used most of the time in rods for bones and stuff like that. So I don't know what to tell you with that. You'll have to have your doctor take care of that. Teeny red dot in his left eye in the spot of the herniation. What would be? That's deterioration. But if that's black dot is still in that area, that means that's not healing. Well, it's not healing obviously because he's pulled it. So again, that metal is probably antagonistic to tissue repair and growth there. The Bones formula is a great formula, especially in the capsule form. Comfrey knit bone, connective tissue, work on his parathyroid gland in the first place, and go after his lymph system is the best you can do, and then find out what kind of metal that is. You know, they use bad metals sometimes. Even the mashes used to be toxic. Now, this person had an appendectomy, and sorry I'm going so fast, but I have literally a bunch more to go through. I don't know how close he is to being done, but this person had an appendectomy and bowel resection when I was 6 months pregnant with my first daughter. Oh my God. Poor thing. 11 years ago, at 25 years old, I now know that I could have detox. Well, yeah, but you can't live in the past, sweetheart. Can't do it. Just get your body healthy. Remember, go after those bowels because you had an appendectomy. So that means you're interstitially lymphatically constipated in the GI tract wall. Get that cleaned out so you don't end up with Crohn's or IBS or some other type of bowel problems. And dig into there and move your lymph system, and you'll be good. Okay? I picked 58 days, 58th birthday. I am hoping to feel so. Sweetheart, you're doing a good job. That's all I can tell you. You love majewel dates too? I love those things. You're doing a good job there. I don't know what your name is, but I don't know about these icons and stuff you guys use. But I'm an old farm boy, man. You're doing a good job, though, sweetie. I'm watching what you're saying and your questions here and stuff, and you're all doing a good job here. Here's another one from the same lady, Kalke. I need to know your name. I'm borderline hypothyroid. Took sea kelp with iodine tincture. People go nuts with iodine tincture, and then suddenly you get hyperthyroid. And this is a never isolate chemistry, and iodine is one you never isolate. Your heartbeat sped up too fast. You don't touch your thyroid, because what you're saying, everything you do makes your thyroid speed up, your heart palpitate. You tried Armour, it did the same thing. For some reason, it sounds like you're more hyperthyroid than hypo here. You take a little bit of iodine, you take a little bit of Synthroid T4, and it just even T3 here, and it hyped you up. So that's what it does, is turn on heart rate. So I would lay low on that. I wouldn't touch anything. Do your basal temperatures under your arms. See what your basal temperatures are, honey, and see if you're anything below 97.5. I'll take a 97.5 in today's world of thyroids. But anything close to the 96s, upper 96s, are going to be real hypo. But this indication to me and what you're saying here is you're a little right on the border of being hyperthyroid, and this is throwing you out. See, you can't go by blood work. You can't. Are you cold? Are you hot? Are you warm? Where are you in body temperature? That'll give you some clue. The colder you are, the more hypo you are. The hotter you are, the more hyper you tend to be. But I would be real careful with doing anything with the thyroid gland here at all. You could be hypo, have a heck of a lymphatic stagnation here, and that's the trigger. But I would detoxify myself and really go after this. And, got to the GI tract, right? Because I follow what you're saying here and all your different things. And I would go after my GI tract, I'd go after my kidneys and adrenals, and after my lymphatic system. Let me take a quick look, see where he's at, and I'll be right back. I hope we can cut this out of here. Oh, good. Oh, we're plenty good. He's got a ways to go yet. A good friend of mine's tiling the around the station out there because we're so busy that we're wearing the carpet out. Yeah, I think I bought cheap carpet. I don't know. Didn't mean to, but so we have some time here. I hope I'm not boring you, but I want to get through all these, and then I'll be caught up, and then maybe I can stay caught up here. As soon as I think that, though, you guys plaster me with them, which is okay. I tell you, if I can help you all, I'm happy, and we're setting. We'll have a nice archive of videos here for people, and it'll really be helpful. And hopefully people start using them to understand more about the human body and how it works simplistically, and how there's nothing you can't cure. This is the remedy of all times, but it's the remedy that nature uses too. Nothing new here. This person is noticing some yellowish white balls of something floating in the water, size of marbles. After you stool, I take it. What is it? Yellowish white? Huh, don't know. Yellowish would be an indication of maybe a lipid or cholesterol, and you could be passing some lipid stones. Gallstones are, almost every gallstone I've ever seen, and I was just watching Oddities before I came in today, and Mike got a gallbladder full of stones for his birthday present. Preserved, of course, but there it was just full of gallstones. But gallstones are emerald green and yellow, which is yellow is the cholesterol, of course, and bile is the green. But yellow white, I don't know. I have a nurse, and she writes me every month, and the stuff she sees coming out of her, the parasites. She's the one that called me. She felt her things moving in her brain. Her brain was going numb, and she got out jars. I got some back here, jars of threadworms. Maybe I can show them to you if you can see them. Jars of threadworms, little threadworms, pretty gnarly. I've got a lot of tumors back here we pulled out, and some parasites and stuff. You'll see them when you come to the class. I don't have an overabundance of stuff, but I used to pay anybody who would save, but people don't save stuff. They flush them down the toilet, freak out. But boy, to read her diary is like, oh my God, that came out of you? I mean, that sort of thing. But now her brain is healed up, very little numbness left, no more movement. I can tell you some really sickening parasitic clients we've had where the skin was the blue hair, remember those? Moving. I mean, one lady, Kathy had bleach in it following her around, just paranoid because extreme infestation, extreme, where if you just peeled the skin off, it would be just like a corpse with the maggots and stuff. It was just gnarly stuff we've seen in here, and no help for them. We need to learn to deworm ourselves and our kids every year. And if you're a dead animal eater, maybe every 6 months, especially if you're eating raw meat. But they come from everything, not just meat, so don't get me on that one. Okay, let me see. Yeah, your husband is he's a hypnotherapist. Yeah, we have people that cancel or don't show up. We don't mind cancellations. And actually, I don't mind people that don't show up because I get a chance to talk to you guys. But I do feel bad for those that we have a very serious waiting list, and it's like, oh my God. And it isn't nice when people do that. I don't do it to other people. If I forget and don't, my heart drops. I feel so sorry. But I don't remember ever doing that to somebody. But that's just the way people are. People don't care. And it's like they don't understand it. It's just life, you know. This is addressing leukemia. Again, I addressed it here. I want to make sure that that you understand that you get rid of this. You get rid of your leukemia. You go through this detox. You get the blood. You go in the spleen. You build up your bone marrow. You get your liver cleaned out. Okay. Lewis, you're a good man. Thanks for the good comments, my friend. Thank you very much. You're 26 years old. Let's see, who was this that you knew? A coworker developed an itchy smell on the right side of his face. Now I know it was his lymph nodes. Exactly. And doctors determined he had cancer, removed them. He died soon after. You know, it's just sad. These are stories that you hear over and over. You know, the public does not hear the huge amount of deaths that are occurring from this. They only hear of the very few survivalists. They don't see the huge number of people that are dying from this out of control oncology. They don't hear it. So if I ever have to go to court with the medical doctors, they're going to hear it, because we're going to bring in the news and we're going to blow this door wide open. If I ever have to go to court with the medical doctors, they're going to hear it, because we're going to bring in the news and we're going to blow this door wide open. I appreciate your comment, Rosalind. Well, listen, Centron, my friend, I love your comment about your dog. Isn't that pretty cool? You loved your dog deeply. And man doesn't understand heaven very much, and that the fact that there are many. Even if you're a Christian listening to this, Jesus said, in my Father's mansion there are many rooms. There are many levels to God. To not give God the all that it deserves is to insult it. I mean, if you think God's here and this is here and that's it, that's an insult to the magnitude of the Supreme Being. I wouldn't have the audacity to go there, because the magnitude of this being is beyond comprehension. Woe be it to me. So, Centron, you're a good, that just shows you're a good man. It really shows you got a good heart. So, you know, those that will love us and we love, we keep them close even after death. But death of what? You just changed the body. You just dropped this physical body. Sorry, I didn't mean to get spiritual in my health talk, but hard not to. Jackie Doe, what is a WIKI? What is that? You remember, I'm an old farm boy here. Yeah. Thank you all for your comments. I love you all. You're all good. I forgot to ask you in my last email if anemic/blood deficiency, TCM, people can go on a detox. You daggone right. How are you going to fix it if you don't? Because detox is really revitalization. If you look at what we're doing in detoxification, we're really just giving you the food your body was designed to eat in the first place. Isn't that amazing? We're just giving you the food your body's designed in the first place and taking away all the acid crap. That's all we're doing. And your body's fixing itself. I don't want you to tell too many people how simple this is. And it's like someone said, this is too simple for people to get sometimes. Well, woe be it to us, huh? Well, you guys, you'll help me, and we'll just keep curing them up, healing them up, no matter how simple it is. And at least we will feel good and strong that we have done, a great deed for the human race. Because to me, being a healer is one of the highest orders of things you can do to help your fellow man. But I respect every profession, don't get me wrong. But some professions are contraindicated to that, it seems. Your blood pressure stays at 145 over 100 during the day, but much higher at night, 180 over 112. You might get a lot of pressure up here. If you do, this is your lymph system in the cerebellum. This could be a lot of pressure in your head, bro. If it is, that's your lymph system moving out. Of course, you're going to hit your kidneys, man. If the fruits are making you go up with blood pressure, it's just you're holding more water to kind of hydrate there. So you really got some lymph and kidney issues to deal with here very seriously. You want to get after that, okay? Get clean up. You got digestive problems, of course. You have iron and ferritin problems. So you've got gut problems. So you want to get into the pancreas here for your enzymes. Get the pancreatic capsules. We already addressed this same one. I think this is the one we addressed a little bit ago. Sorry about that, but you want to go after that. Go after your gut, your GI tract. Use your stomach and bowel formulas. You can use lymphatic ones. Have a GI broom for that guy that has the orange around his pupil. Get that GI broom. Suck that stuff right out. But truly, sulfur is a glue. It locks into place there, and it sometimes takes a while and is difficult to get it out. So important that you get that body cleaned up of yours. Now, olive oil or any refined oil bad for you, like Dr. What's his name says. I don't like to give too many names out here. He said refined oil will cause heart disease. Oh, well, if that was the case, everybody would have heart disease. I don't know whether he's alluding to cholesterol plaquing in the artery walls from acidosis, and that somehow magically your consumption of oils would contribute to that. I can only say that oils are the most toxic part of plants. And so the high A's and beta carotenes, the high oil soyables, were frowned on by the FDA, which I do concur with that. Essential oils can be very toxic if they're potent, so you need very little. With that said, the body requires fatty acids, and fatty acids comes in most fruits and vegetables, higher in avocados, higher in nuts, and of course your coconuts higher, pine nuts, pignolia nuts. So when you look at people come in with bags of supplements. Now keep in mind, they're still coming in with their problems with bags of supplements. Thousands of dollars spent on supplements. They're on omega-3s, 6, 9s. They're on flaxseed. They're on evening primrose oil. They're on a host of oils. And then they're taking multis that have oils. And so they're on all these oils. And it's like too much. But a little olive oil on the salad, a little coconut oil, all these are not going to do you harm. But I concur with him in the sense of refining and pasteurizing isn't what we do. And of course, most oils are, some of the best ones you think about is cold pressed, of course. but then you have the story of rancidity. So I don't know. See, I'm not too much on bottled foods. I think really everything should be fresh, and then you get it as nature intended it and as the chemistry was intended, and therefore these questions wouldn't be asked. But we just got to use things outside of that realm. So as long as you're using amber bottles and a cold press, maybe the first or second press, okay. But just a little bit, you don't need much. A little dab will do you. I love this picture, FDSELG, angelic picture. Now don't get me going now on a health talk. I must be watch my spiritual self. I have no deficiency in my blood, and mentioned that I eat enough raw greens that only needed substance will be carried. Yeah. Yeah. I love your comments and your gratitude, and I pass my gratitude back to you. I'm humbled that you guys are enjoying this. I am. It's been a lot of years, a lot of work, and times where there was no money to eat on, and so it's we still live week to week, but the fact that that people are waking up is an incredible experience to me. How do you get off blood pressure pills? Very easy, Lisa. Very easy. When your blood pressure starts coming down, shrink. Use some PRN. Use them when needed. But as your blood pressure comes down, which it will, when you get working on your kidneys and lymph and adrenals, your blood pressure is going to come down. Then you're going to come off your blood pressure. It's not like they're steroids and not like they're insulin. And even with insulin, you've got to be real careful now about taking medications or hormones and steroids when everybody's going back to normal, particularly insulin or glucophage or something like that, or even your beta blockers, calcium channel blockers for high blood pressures. They're not dangerous. To stop. When your blood pressure is going normal, you don't take them, let me tell you. Because if a medical doctor gets mad at that, well, why don't you tell your patient to come on? Why don't you help your patients get off of? Her medical doctor won't even help her. He should lose his license right now. If he can't help her, does he want her to be on this the rest of her life, or does he want her well? Why did he take his oath? I can't understand that. The whole oath is to get people well, keep people healthy, not to feed them pharmaceuticals and line your pocket with money. I was taking orientation one time at a hospital, and there was a medical doctor from, he was somewhere in the Middle East. Can't remember what country right now. Don't think it was Libya. Could have been Lebanon. Somewhere in the Middle East. And me and him were talking a lot together, and there were some other medical doctors, and he said, in your country, medical doctors seem to be capitalists. He said, in my country, medical doctors are humanitarians. He said, I'll take a chicken any day if I can help somebody. And that's why him and I liked each other, because I told him, I said, I'm a naturopath, man. That's the world I live in. We're humanitarians. We're not capitalists. At least I'm not. Although there's a young naturopath female up the road that charges $50 for every question you ask her. $50 for every question you ask her. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bad. You reap what you sow. So blood pressure, Lisa, easy to get off with, sweetie. Don't fear those at all. Don't fear anything. Don't fear medication. Don't fear chemicals. If you fear anything, fear taking them. But when your blood pressure starts coming down, come off of them. If you have to come off, do half your pill, or go every other day and watch your blood pressure. And as it comes down, you don't need it. 140 over 80, you don't need blood pressure medications. Have your medic. If he doesn't help you, then this guy's not following his oath of office. Yeah, I agree with you. It is obvious medical doctors are practicing naturopathy without a license. How about that, Indiana Banana? What should we do about that? What do they do with us when we practice medicine without a license? Well, this state sought it to be a felony. Boy, we the people, how our governments love us, huh? What was it? We're the most, have the most imprisoned people of all the world. I don't know what to say. I'm definitely in the suing mood, but I got to keep my spiritual self at the same time. I got to bow to the Supreme Being and its creation. It's not my creation in a sense, and yet it is. So there's a lot of, two-sided things here. Now, look at you like two heads. Really, okay. It's tired of being sleepy, especially when this is about a person that comes home very fatigued, very tired, and you ask whether it was the adrenals or fungus or both, and probably both. You know, a lot of high fungus in the person. The adrenals are probably really fatigued. So you want to go into there. You want to detoxify the body. They could have high viral loads of some sort. Epstein-Barr or something. You know, they're going to have high viral loads that are just sucking. But viruses generally are just proteins of the body. Really, most of the fatigue is from adrenal steroid neurotransmitter problems. Too much fungus, sucking up too much sugar, maybe. In that way, I hate to put it in that way, but also could be low thyroid as well, low blood sugars as well. So you want to look at that. Low adrenals is low blood sugar and low neurotransmitters, which is the low nervous system. Both of them could be hitting them. If there's overgrowth, sometimes, yeah, you can slow down the symptom, but go after what they're after. Go after this toxicity of the lymph system, the acidosis. And then things will be good. And we check this. Someone asked me to explain tiredness and sleepiness, which we did. But I want you to also think of the pineal gland. Could be that, everything needs to be turned on. You could just leave it that way. But low blood sugar, low neurotransmitters in the adrenals means low autonomic, low thyroid, low pineal, all this stuff. Well, what makes these cells tired? Acids and eating dead food, low energy, fungus overgrowth, all this stuff, toxicity of the human body. Get it out, empower the body with energy and vitality by eating it. And get these glands going, clean out the bowels, clean up the sewer system, and that'll go away. Matter of fact, seek for it to go away, because some of you guys out there with strong constitutions can hit an energy so high that you can't stand it. Some of you are going to be saying that now coming up here, that you're tapping into some of these energy levels. Look at Steve, no crap guy. He's already moving about. The energy is insane that you can get a hold of, so you don't worry about calories, because the energy is so insane, power flowing through you. I remember this young man the local newspaper brought in, stomach cancer. Been to Moffitt, diagnosed him with stomach cancer, said they needed to remove 2/3 of his stomach and chemo, cost of $95,000. The editor of the newspaper sent his top story writer with him, brought him over here, said, "We've heard about you. We want you to work with this young kid. We'll write a story on it." So I did. I put him on a ton of grapes. 56 days later, he falls to the bathroom floor, feels paralyzed. Same time, he's throwing up black skunk stinking matter, black skunk stinking matter out of his bowels. His caregiver, his significant other, whoever, called me, and she said, telling me this, and I'm telling her, don't freak out. He's in a healing crisis. And of course, some of the healing crisis, you're going, oh, I hope he's in a healing crisis. Bite your tongue and plow the field. So I said, when he feels better, clean him up and get him to bed. So about an hour later, he's starting to move around a little bit, feeling better. She puts him into bed. So then I called him that afternoon. I said, how you doing? He said, well, let me tell you. He said a couple of hours later, he said, I felt the God force flow through me. He said, I don't know what to call it. He said, the energy whizzed through me. He said, I never felt anything like this. It was like the power of life framed through me. I knew he didn't have stomach cancer left anymore. We took him to a medical doctor on the 59th day. No more stomach cancer. I figure 56 days, no stomach cancer left. Pretty cool, huh? So this is the kind of things that you can see and go through. Let me see. We're getting there. Look at this. Oh, this is kind of thick. Well, we're getting there. This person has an old dog, 13, who has fatty tumors all over her body. Well, fatty, remember, fats are antacids, so she's got a lot of acidosis going on. Dogs have the same stuff, you know, kidneys, adrenals, lymphs. Except the dog doesn't sweat through the skin. So, you know, this is part of the problem. You know, that's why they use the tongue. That's why it's so important to keep a dog healthy. She had a tumor on her tail. Oh, and you use the black sap, right? Yeah, you use bloodroot. I love bloodroot. Scares some people. To remove it. The wound will not heal. It won't heal because you pulled the tumor. And that's the lymph system. So you haven't fixed the dog's lymph system or the kidneys yet. So that tumor, that where you pulled the tumor, is now the port. And this will happen in anyone with, whenever you pull breast tumors or any tumor. If you don't fix the lymph system, that where you pulled becomes the port because you've opened it up and said, look, here's a doorway body. You can use this doorway now. And that's the problem. You could pull 3 or 4 out and keep oozing, even in the human side. And so you got to fix his lymph system and his kidneys and get the adrenals, and you'll pick this, then the tail can heal up here. She also, this dog has some hypothyroid, so sneak her a little glandular on the side there, and you'll get your dog back here, right? On this thing on wrinkles, wrinkles, and I just addressed that about the parathyroid gland, and if you're a smoker, you got to get rid of it because you're sucking the calcium right out of you, or get yourself a bong or water pipe and put your tobacco in there. I don't think the police department would appreciate it, but sorry, this is tobacco officer. Would you mind if I ask you what herbal formulas or what things you would recommend for general kidney and or adrenal rejuvenation strengthening? Well, I think I thought I made it very simple when I put names on my formulas, and I think every other herb company should too. If they make a formula for the adrenals, put adrenals. You make a herbal formula for the kidneys, put a kidneys. But in the understanding that these herbal formulas are for the health of the kidney, these herbal formulas are to strengthen and rebuild kidney tissue. We don't treat any diseases. That's medical doctors. Let them keep playing because their profession is going to have to, is going to suffer and is suffering from it. Of course, a lot of them are getting pretty wealthy, but go after these. I use 2 kidney formulas, remember? I use 2 kidney formulas, 2 lymphatic formulas. Remember, the adrenal glands on top of the kidneys control the kidneys. So always go after the adrenal glands too. And these formulas, herbs are for cleaning and strengthening. That's how I look at botanicals. I look at diet the same way. Food is for cleaning and strengthening. Herbs, cleaning and strengthening. Nobody can get you for that. I'm helping people to clean and strengthen their body. What law says I can't do that? I don't know, in some of these countries, maybe you're even prohibited from that. I hope not. It'd be horrible. Can't believe how oppressive this level is. This is the question, and you're from Switzerland, so this is probably a valid question because you're from Switzerland, but most people don't understand French and how they see sexuality. That's the one thing I enjoyed in France, that you have bathrooms that everybody uses. I like that. I like this tension between sexes removed. Man, in this country, and I kind of blame religion. These are our bodies. Breasts are breasts. Penises are penises. That's what they are. We have this ungodly view somehow of the body, but not so much in France or Switzerland. So there's not any questions you can't ask me that embarrasses me, but you can embarrass the staff. Those guys can get real embarrassed, particularly Chris. That type of little bit of thing embarrasses him. About the sexual energy, I tell you what, raw foods can sometimes take it away because your sexual energy is more down in the gonadal areas. In the Eastern religions, that's the lower chakra. However, raw foods brings you up to here. So sometimes that shuts down there. I've always said that for a raw foodist, if he wants to enjoy some lovemaking, you better have a piece of meat. That's not probably true, but it does turn on the lower chakras. We know that, or the lower gonadal areas. And so meat is known to do that. Fruits known to keep you up here, and you have different types of relationships. I was celibate, and that's one of your questions about holding semen in, I think. Definitely empowers. I think that was in the Bible. They were talking about Samson, or the real strong man, and then he the analogy, they cut his hair. Religions use analogies that makes me want to puke. Let's get to the real issue. He went out with a woman that night, and then of course he didn't have the strength the next day to conquer what he was conquering. But that's how you lose energy. But it's also how we have union. So however you want to see it and do it, but to make the male and female areas healthy and the adrenal glands healthy is to eat a raw food diet and to work with these glands, with the glandulars or the herbs for them, clean the kidneys and get the lymph system moving. The lymph system can impair blood flow to these tissues and create all types of male ejaculation problems and the like. So sexuality is very much related to the health of the human body in every way, from over or under desires and things, bringing a balance to man's sexuality and health of it. But you didn't say about romance. I love romance, but you didn't ask that. You asked something about a person who's got a weak pelvic floor. You're looking at the typical pelvic area of men and women today are smaller. Well, a lot of women are smaller. Where are we at? A smoothie? I'll take a smoothie. Is this banana strawberry? Ooh. Mm-hmm. This is a banana strawberry. Thank you. Mango too? Sorry, guys. I have to take a little drink. Forgive me, but that's good, even if it was Smoothie King. Boy, that was good. Sorry about that, but that's good. I love strawberries and bananas and mangoes. I'll take a smoothie. Is this banana strawberry? Ooh. This is a banana strawberry. Thank you. Mango too? Sorry, guys. I have to take a little drink. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Forgive me, but that's good, even if it was Smoothie King. Boy, that was good. Sorry about that, but that's good. I love strawberries and bananas and mangoes. My God. I mean, people gripe about eating fruit. Are you kidding me? That's where all the flavor is. If that was grass, I'd be going, grass? Nah, give me a banana, strawberry, and mango smoothie, please. So, our skeletal system, it's going to take quite a while. Women are getting smaller in the pelvic area. All these problems we're having. Notice a lot more cesareans and opposed to vaginal births and stuff. I have a male reproductive formula if you're having problems, but you want to check your prostate. I never give hot herbs when you have cancer or when you have prostatitis or any female the same way. Hot herbs are, and there's a question here I hope I get to about Lupron. Gave this person Lupron, which is a male testosterone inhibitor. They use it for male cancers, like prostate cancers and stuff, but it suppresses the adrenal glands. I've seen the PSA soar on Lupron. Take them off of Lupron and the PSAs drop drastically. I had a professor down here, taught at a college, and his PSAs were sky. I got up into 80 on Lupron, stopped it, immediately hit 40. So I don't know what to tell you, but you never suppress. Estrogen and testosterone are acidic. But when your lymph is backed up, you're backed up with acids, throwing more estrogen or testosterone is really just fuel on the fire. And so that's when you want to cool everything down, obviously. That's this whole thing. Acids are hot, bases are cool. Winter is alkaline, summer is acid. So, when we're hot, we want to cool down, and when we're cold, we want to warm up. We seek that homeostasis or balance at all times. When you're going after health, most unhealthiness is acidosis, and that's why you can achieve your sense of wellness and the regeneration of tissue in a base chemistry experience. And it creates a cationic or a cleansing experience of the human body. When the PSAs are normal, then you can use a ginseng or hot herb for the male to build strength in the prostate and testicles and stuff. And the same thing with women. You can use Dong Quai or something. Now, told you this is a long one, so forgive me. And I'm sorry you can't have a drink of this. If I could offer each one of you a drink of this, I would. But you probably could make me a better one right now. But, I've got some good mangoes sitting there on the stove. I can't wait to get them. Now let me see here. Well, I'm not going to get into a dissertation of Christianity, my dear one. You wouldn't want that, I don't think. So it's enough to say that see all people as godly people, and you'll do well if you'll see all things as God manifesting here, and your love will blossom, and your opinions and all these things will melt away, and your heart will explode with love and joy, and all respect and humility for all life will blossom, and that's godly. First thing, let's see. Okay, I'm a 31-year-old female who grew up in Indiana. Woohoo, Indiana! Hoosier! I started paying more attention to my health a few years ago. Blah, 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 blah. I'm also experiencing skin symptoms. Okay, according to, she has severe anemia, a lot of bleeding. My periods are irregular now. Okay, but think about pituitary, controlling ovaries. Use the female reproductive formula for a while anyway. Kind of help yourself up. And I apologize for naming my formulas, but you can buy, I don't care whose formulas, but look at the herbs I use and try to get something close to that because we know mine work good for those things. I've experienced what I think is uterine spasms. Now, again, that's acidosis. And you want to move that lymph, get those adrenals up, get the neurotransmitters up, which will strengthen the myelin sheaths and strengthen your nervous system. At the same time, go up here, parathyroid, pop that parathyroid up so you're utilizing calcium. So you're strengthening the nerves, you're utilizing calcium, you're getting the lymph moving, and so all this acidosis comes out, and then there's no reason for spasticity. It is very painful, but doesn't result in much bleeding. I'm also experiencing skin symptoms. Okay, so you know your lymph is clogged. Exactly. And on your legs and your arms, your hair on my head has also been shedding a lot. Well, your lymph is really backed up, sweetheart. But you're an Indiana lady, and is this a lady? Yes, and it has to be. So I hope. Yeah, I mean, milk state. A lot of dairy farmers, a lot of Amish dairy farmers in Indiana. She did a juice fast. She's been vegan. That's good. Now, she's diagnosed with scoliosis. Oh, there you go. Here we go, guys. Help me out here. She's diagnosed with scoliosis as a preteen. Right there, parathyroid gland, kidneys. Kidneys are backing up that lymph in her back. Her parathyroid's not allowing her to utilize calcium, probably from a young girl. So her weakest kidney is giving way and she's pulling the spine to the strong side. Got to get your parathyroid, get your lymph, get your kidneys. Right there's a good side. Left side limbs are longer and joints hyperextended. You're not utilizing calcium, sweetheart. And you have, believe this or not, you have two sides to the thyroid, two sides to the parathyroid, two kidneys, two adrenal glands. Each side can grow independent of another, depending which side is weaker. And this is a good example to show you just that case. This is a good case. Had surgery for a hernia? By gosh, right there. You guys, you're a good case. But do you see, honey, where we're going here? Your parathyroid is weak. You can cut, and with the periods and everything, we might be all the way up to pituitary. You haven't mentioned your tonsils out or not. You wouldn't have to have them out because you're not moving your lymph all the way in your head. You're losing hair. You gotta move your lymph, sweetheart. This is very important for you to do this and take something. This is where a glandular is essential, and really get on a Calma Plus. Get up there, take this glandular. I'd say 2-3 times a day until you strengthen up that skeletal system of yours. Get that lymph moving, and your spine will pull itself back straight again. Stay raw. Get those kidneys. Go after the adrenals. Get up in here. Do the female reproductive formula you could, and you might have to address the pituitary. You didn't mention insomnia, which would go along with pituitary and things, but you parathyroid all over the place. This is the one that was giving Lupron to stop uterine bleeding about 3 years ago. Now they're going to suppress your adrenals, and down here you've had severe shyness and anxiety as a child. Very low adrenal glands. Low parathyroid gland. You have a heart murmur, which is the parathyroid gland. Again, valve weakness. You're losing your connective tissue. You strengthen up that parathyroid gland. Get your lymph moving so you quit pulling excessive calcium out of the body. Pop up that parathyroid gland. Get your lymph moving. This is real important. You're only 31 years old, honey. You get yourself back in shape, you have a good long life here. But get yourself back in shape. Really paramount that you do that. But see, you guys, this is a good case. And if we keep doing things like this, listing them like this for me, we can all relate here. And you guys will make great healers. You'll identify those things right off. You know immediately what's wrong with your clients and help them right through these things. I don't have much left. I got to have another drink. Forgive me, I just got to have another drink. Man, that's good. Sorry about that. That's good. I had abdominal and testicle pain 2 months ago. I went to the emergency room, and they gave me a bunch of antibiotics, and didn't help at all. Now I feel pain when I walk between my legs, testes, and my lower abdomen. I've been 80% raw since you started your chat. Thank you. You really need this, my friend. I need to know what specific herbs will help me because my life has changed since. Yeah, I'm 19 years old. He's only 19 years old, guys. Oh, my God. Okay. You got to get after those kidneys and your adrenals. This will help pull the prostate clean. You might take something for the prostate. You really want to get your lymph moving because there's a lot of testicular cancer out there. You really got to get your kidneys filtered. You're 19, so it's hands down you have kidney and adrenal weakness. Hands down. You really want to focus on those kidneys. Use 2 kidney formulas. Use the adrenal herbal or glandular. Do a lymphatic 1 capsules, lymphatic 4. You might take the prostate formula just to cool down that prostate a little bit. Get after your colon too. I would do that while you're doing that. And go in that direction. Go on a fruit fast, fruit, berries, and melon fast. Really move this inflammation out of this acid out fast. Because having that kind of pain doesn't lead to anything good. So get that out of there, my friend. You're only 19 years old. Get focused, get that out of there, and you'll be in good shape, okay? Real important. Has made tinctures. Oh, good, good. Your brother's ordered herbs from the book and has made some tinctures from them. Good deal, man. I have looked at them, and now my liver is even more sensitive. Oh, I have took them. Yeah, I mean, if your liver's too sensitive, maybe stay away from the liver herbs a little bit and focus on the lymphatic herbs. Go after the stomach and bowel formula a little bit. Go after the kidneys, the adrenal glands. Move your lymph a little more. Too aggressive herbs on the liver might, overstimulate it right now. So maybe be cautious a little bit here. Or if that's even too strong, go all raw first, go on a fasting first. If the herbs are too strong for you, you always go raw first for a month or two and then break into the herbs. Some people are so sensitive, so bad, they have to do the foods first and then they move into the herbs. The same way as some people can't handle the fruits, they have to do the vegetables first and then they can work into the fruits. Okay. You know, some people are really bad off, excuse me, and you have to really work with them. Can these herbs cause liver damage? No, I haven't seen any of these herbs ever, any of our herbs cause liver damage, ever. And we have people do constant blood work here, and I've never, even with high dosages of all the lymphatic ones, which you would suspect more than any of them, never, ever seen it. Some coroner one time was trying to blame Oregon grapefruit for liver damage. Oregon grapefruit, for God's sakes. There's pharmaceutical companies that make Oregon grapefruit tinctures. This is stupid. The internet is full of stupid ideas on herbs. If you want to know about herbs, go to an herb school. The colleges that teach botanicals are the most informed and aware about botanicals. When a medical doctor makes a judgment on botanicals, I want to throw up. Practicing herbology without a license, going to get you nowhere but in trouble, medical doctors. But you could take a weekend course and know everything you can about them. I knew a surgeon in town that took a few weekends of acupuncture. Now he's an acupuncturist.